Hey, fight fans, UFC 312 is just around the corner. And what better way to get hyped up than creating your own event poster? This can be done in numerous Adobe Creative Cloud applications like InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, and even Adobe Express. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to do this in InDesign. So let's dive in. So here I am in the latest version of InDesign. I have gone ahead and clicked the new file button on the left-hand side of my screen. And now I want to choose whether I want to do a print document or whether I want to do a mobile or whatever size poster it is that I want to be able to create. So I'm going to choose this standard landscape A4 because my document is in landscape. Just remember, because it's a poster, I don't want facing pages. That needs to be switched off. And if I am going to be doing this for print, remember to go and put your bleed on. This is quite important so that your document, when it is trimmed correctly. Right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say create. And here I've got my blank page. Now, to start with my poster, I need some kind of imagery. So if I go to my Creative Cloud desktop application, if you're on a Windows, of course, it's in the bottom of your dock, and I have gone and chosen the web section under the all applications, and I'm going to choose over here Adobe Stock. The quick way to do it this way is because what's going to happen is it's going to log in already with my credentials, and I will have my libraries activated, and I will then be able to just choose whatever images I want to use and place them in my library. Right, so I'm going to use some of the free content here on Adobe Stock, and I'm going to go and put in here UFC fighters, and let's see what we can what we can come up with. So here we've got a couple of free images that we can go and use, and if there is a particular image that you would like to use, let's say for example it's this one. This one is not in the free version, so just remember it is going to be watermarked, but you can always get approval for it afterwards. Right, so now I can go and choose the type of image that I want. Perhaps this is the image that I am looking for. Of course, if I click on the heart, it's then going to add it to my library, which will make it available to me in any of my Adobe applications. Now, because of copyright laws, the fighters with the UFC, I have decided just to use AI generated images that I have got stacked in my library over here. So you can see here is the one that I've just added from Adobe Stock, but I'm just going to use a previously created one. So let's go and take what I want to use. I'm just going to drag and drop that. You can see it's hanging from my mouse. And remember, if it's going to print, you have to drag it from the bleed to the bleed. And I'm just going to make sure I've got the exact size here that I am looking for. I'm just going to reposition it. So double click on the hand tool. This is going to give me the ability to be able to see my entire design in the window so that I don't have to pan from side to side. Just make sure, like I said, that you're set to your bleed. Right, I think I'm happy with this. I just want to align it a little bit further. So I'm happy with that design. Now I want to go and place the UFC logo. So to do that, I could either go to File, Place, or I could use Command or Control D, and I can then go to a folder where I can go and find the logo that I want. So as you can see, I placed my logo. It is not fitting into the box. So at the top of my screen here, I have got all my frame fitting options that are available to me. And I'm going to use the third one here that is going to fit the content to the frame. If your screen resolution is a lot smaller because have got your font size a lot bigger, you can access this as well by going under Object, Fitting, and here are the same fitting options that are available to you. Right, now we need to have some text, and I'm going to put in, because this is going to be the 312, I'm just going to highlight that. You can use your eyedropper tool if you want to sample the exact same color from your image that you had. And if you can see on my screen, my eyedropper is now full and my text has been made red. But should you wish to resample and clear the eyedropper tool, remember just to hold down your Alt or your Option key, depending on if you're on Mac and Windows, and then you can take another sample. Right, so while we've got this, I'm now going to select my text. Let's say here I want to make it 72. Remember, you've got different places. You can access your text at the top here. You can do it in the new contextual bar that is recently added to Adobe InDesign, and you can also do it within the properties panel depending on what you want. So I'm going to align this to the left, but I want to look for some fonts that I might like. So remember, you can come and filter here from your fonts, and you could say, I just want to see the bold fonts that I might have, or the font families that have got bold font. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to access Adobe fonts. So to do that, I'm going to go to my Creative Cloud desktop application once more. I'm then going to click on the F for the fonts. This will then give me the fonts that I've currently got installed, but I'm going to say here, I wish to browse more fonts. So while I'm in my Adobe fonts, I can then go and choose different types of tags that I want. So let's say, for example, I want something that is futuristic, maybe something that's got a nice thick font, and this quick brown fox is not going to give me the idea because it's not showing me what the numbers will look like. So I can just come in here and actually just type the numbers or the text that I want so that I can see the type of result that I'm going to get depending on the font that I am choosing. And remember, there may be more than one font that is available to you. So let's see which one I like here. Let's say I like this one here, this ethnocentric. All I need to do is to add that to my InDesign. So as you can see here, the font has been added to my Adobe Creative Cloud applications. And now I can pop right back into Adobe InDesign, and I can now go and choose that particular font that I wanted. So you'll normally find at the top of your font list here, you'll be able to find the font that you wanted. If you can't find it, remember, you can go and start typing, and then you will be able to find the font that you want. So yes, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the size. I'm now going to just align it where I want to place it. We've got that. We want to have a little bit more text. We need to be able to know where this is all happening. So I'm going to go and create a text box here for myself. In this text box, I'm going to go and add some of the information. So let me just make this text a little bit bigger. Let's go and make it white. I'm going to go and change the font size. There we go. I'm going to align it to the left-hand side, and I am then going to go and place it where I want it to be. And I'm just going to increase the font size. Let's go and say maybe, let's see, how does 24 look? Yes, I'm happy with that. and I'm just going to place it nicely in the corner. Right. You may want to have some information about some of the fighters that are going to be taking place. So we can do this by putting some placeholder boxes in here. So I've got a placeholder box. And because I'm happy with the size that it's going to be, I'm maybe just going to lift it slightly. I'm going to remember holding down Alt or Option will allow you to duplicate your box. And if you want it to be in perfect alignment while you're duplicating it, if you hold down your Shift key, it will be in the perfect alignment with the box that you were duplicating. I'm going to select both of these. Let me go and put some font colors on here. So let's maybe choose some red. Otherwise, I could be specific and choose the same red as I had before. Let's maybe make this about 5, the stroke of 5, but I want to go and adjust some of the settings. So let's go into my stroke settings that I've got. Let's do it. You can do it in your properties panel, and I want to align it to the outside, and maybe I just want to give it a little bit of a gap between the two of them. And maybe just to let them pop a little bit, I might want to put a little bit of a red drop shadow on there, and that is done either from your effects over here or your effects over there. It's the same thing, and I'm going to make sure that I've got a drop shadow. I'm going to make sure that it's on my entire object, not just on the stroke, and I'm going to change this from black to red, and I'm going to just make it stand out. Actually, let's not do a drop shadow. Let's go and do an outer glow. I think that will look a little bit better. Let's go and make that red. Yes, that is looking a lot better. Let's maybe pop that up to about 100%. I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to just go and pop in a image that I want to use. So let's say I'm going to just pop this one in here. So there we go. And remember that the little donut or the content grabber, if you hover over it, you can then go and place your image as you want to place it inside of there. And if you can't see the content grabber, remember it's under your view menu. What do you actually want to see? Come and look at some of the extras, and you'll be able to see that your content grabber is available to you over there. Drag in the same image now. Oh, actually, so this time let's use AI in Adobe InDesign to try and find our other image. So let's go in here. Let's say, for example, I want text to image. I'm going to click on that. It's going to pop up this little box for me. Let's go and put in here UFC champion fighter, right? I want it to be a portrait image, and let's use a reference image. I want it to be a photo, but I want it to look very similar to the one that I already have. So I'm going to go and upload the sample image, and let's get that sample image that I want, and let's go and say generate it. Let's see what we can get. Okay, so now I can see I've got 3 options that are available. Let's go and have a look at this one. Let's say, for example, I like this guy here, and let's say, for example, I want to change this other image. Let's change him to. But before I flip it, I'm going to make sure that I set my reference point to the middle. And there you can see he is facing the other way now. Maybe I just want to put this one down a little bit. So now we've got text, we've got image, and now we just need a couple of other little things. So let's maybe duplicate this. Let's bring it to the front, object menu, arrange, bring to front. Let's rename what we've got here. Let's go and do this as verses. Maybe we can make that font just a little bit smaller. Resize the box. Right, and then we just need some other content like the name of the people that are going to be fighting. And maybe he's got some different. Right, so there we go. We've got our um, poster that we've done. And now the important part is to decide how it is that we want to be able to export this. So we can either export as PDF. So if you're going to send it to print, here you can go and set all your print quality options that are available. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to go and say export here, and I'm going to go and save it as a PNG file. And I'm just going to go and call this UFC 312 poster. And we're just going to save it. Just make sure that I'm happy. And then, of course, I can go into my final preview and see if that is what I wanted. There you have it, a stunning event poster made with Adobe Creative Cloud using InDesign, Adobe Stock, and Adobe Fonts. Would you like to know more about these applications and to be able to master them? Contact us for bespoke training on info@magentagroup.co.za or visit our website